Welcome to the debate. Today, we're diving into, well, one of the more elusive claims in, let's say, advanced ancient history, the existence of the Black Pyramid of Alaska, sometimes called the Dark Pyramid. Now, this is supposedly a massive structure, maybe 550 feet tall, built of black stone. And the story goes it was detected deep underground near Mount Denali back in '92. Apparently, seismic instruments picked it up following a Chinese nuclear test. Using the shock wave, they mapped the subsurface and found this huge anomaly, maybe 150 feet down. So the real question here is this thing a verifiable ancient technological marvel? Or is it just, an enduring modern myth fueled by rumor and claims of a government cover-up?
I lean towards the idea that the circumstantial evidence points towards something genuinely advanced, something technological. And I have to approach this from a very different angle. Look, the story is fascinating, no doubt. But the entire basis for this Alaskan pyramid narrative, it seems to hang on a single, unverified news report, one that got pulled almost immediately. And what came later? Well, it's mostly anonymous, secondhand testimony, like, Marty Johnson's son, and some pretty speculative techniques, including remote viewing from Project Stargate, that old CIA psychic program. We have absolutely zero material evidence, nothing archaeological. Compare that to Giza. At Giza, we have millions of artifacts. We found the workers' cities. We even have logbooks like the Papyrus of Mir confirming the construction, the reality of it. So until someone digs up something solid in Alaska, something comparable to Khufu's documented era, well, I have to remain deeply skeptical.
Right, but the extraordinary nature of the claims, that's exactly what forces us to look closer, isn't it? We're talking about a structure that's allegedly twice the size of the Great Pyramid at Giza, made of black stone, and supposedly capable of generating, incredible amounts of energy. Some accounts even suggest, enough to power the entire country of Canada. Now, the key piece isn't necessarily the structure itself, at least not initially, but the immediate government reaction. The reported confiscation of those first news reports, the silencing of witnesses. That strongly suggests something profoundly unusual was discovered. Something that really challenges our neat timeline of ancient tech in human history. That suppression, for me, it adds credibility to the idea that this artifact is highly anomalous.
Okay, but relying on government suppression as proof, that's a slippery slope, logically speaking. We know the Great Pyramid of Giza is a real, staggering feat of engineering. 6 million tons of stone put together with incredible precision and achieved, through documented human organization ingenuity, simple tools, sledges, ropes, over decades. Archaeology confirms its purpose was ceremonial, religious. It was a kind of solar monument tied to resurrection beliefs. The verifiable fact is that Giza was built for ritual purposes by humans.
See, the Dark Pyramid is claimed to be technological, maybe an energy magnifying device, or, as some theories go, a UFO charging station, something like that. Now, that kind of specific high-tech function, generating potentially vast power, that would naturally demand intense government secrecy, military control even. It makes it fundamentally different from a public, religious monument like Giza. The secrecy isn't proof in itself, but it's a logical consequence if the artifact's alleged nature is true.
I fundamentally disagree that secrecy proves anything about ancient energy devices. Let's just look hard at the sources for Alaska again. What do we actually have? Anonymous accounts, engineers supposedly working in deep underground facilities, remote viewers seeing... humanoid creatures and computers? That's pretty far out there. On the other hand, the precision of Giza wasn't magic. It came from centuries of Egyptian trial and error. We can see the progression, in earlier structures like the Bent Pyramid. There's solid archaeological proof of human effort and development. We just don't have that for Alaska. We have seismic readings and stories, rumors.
Yet even the Great Pyramid itself, many researchers view it as an anomaly precisely because of its scale and precision, right? That level of engineering audacity demonstrates that ancient civilizations could push technical limits far beyond what the conventional narratives often admit. So if they achieve that precision for a tomb, is an underground black stone structure generating massive power really that technologically implausible? Especially if we consider a potentially more advanced, maybe even globalized ancient context that official history tends to ignore, the missing data in Alaska, it could easily be due to active military containment, not because there's nothing there.
At the end of the day, though, whether Khufu achieved immortality or not, his pyramid is there. It's been meticulously documented, excavated for centuries. We have the solid fact of the Great Pyramid versus, well, a highly speculative narrative about the Dark Pyramid. Until verifiable physical evidence, or at least some non-anecdotal data, emerges from the Alaskan wilderness, I just see this profound gap between established archaeological fact and, frankly, unverified speculation.
And yet it persists. It remains this powerful kind of suppressed story, hinting at potential high technology. And it does suggest, perhaps, a need to rethink our timelines, our understanding of human origins. The possibility, however remote, continues to challenge us.
It does. It absolutely does. And the question of whether this colossal black structure truly exists deep beneath the Alaskan landscape, well, it remains an extremely compelling mystery, one for future investigators, perhaps, to finally solve.